Hello YouTube and welcome back to Jesse's Garage. We're excited to have you. Today we got a different kind of tool haul. Actually, it's not even a tool haul. I had a friend that reached out, a really good friend. He's just a nice guy. His name is Shane. And boy, I got to tell you, he is just such a giving spirit. He's always trying to give me some wood or give me this or that. He's giving me some tools and such like that. And he's just a nice guy. He's the kind of guy that never asks for anything in return. He's that guy. And so one of the things that I noticed when he was over in his garage, I was over there visiting, and I noticed this saw that he had. And I got to tell you, this bad boy is big. This is how big it is. I can't even get it in the frame. It's that big. How's that for a hacksaw? Is that big or what? And so this thing actually measures out 34 inches. Can you believe that? 34 inches. And so, boy, you gotta be a real man in order to run this kind of hacksaw. Would you not agree? And so Shane is just exactly that guy. He's a real man. And so as we were going through, boy, I was just oohing and awing about it. And I told him, you know what? I do restoration type stuff. Let me try. At least let me give it a little bit of honor and then give it right back to you. And boy, he said, oh, you don't have to do that. And I said, oh yeah, I want to, just for you. I would like to do that. So anyways, that's what this video is about. We're going to take this saw, we're going to break it down, and we're going to redo it. Now, a couple things. Here's the plan. What do you think about this? We're going to try to strip this wood down and try to bring it back just natural. We're not going to stain it or anything, just bring it back natural. The body here, the arm that's actually holding on to the blade, we're going to try to really get all the rust off and clean that up. And then I think we're going to try to blue it is the plan. And then from there, the next step that we're going to try to do is this blade. We're going to try to clean that up. And if you'll notice, look how, man, the teeth on that thing is still excellent. It's just awesome. Man, this thing will cut some wood, I'm sure. And so we're going to try to just to polish that up, or at least the best that we can. And then one of the other notable factors on here, I don't know if you notice this, but this is pretty awesome. You'll notice that it has these brass plugs on there. Actually, they're screws. In fact, you can even see the screw heads on this side. I'm going to try to break that down. I'm going to try to take these handles off. I'm going to try to break it all down and put it in the cleaner and try to do it all up. We're going to do this thing some honor. We're going to make this thing a real tool for a real man. Shane, that's who it is. All right, let's get started. Be right back. Okay, so I got the handle off. We got the little brass screw and plug off. And so you can see how bad this is right here. And so we have our work cut out for us. I was hoping I could get it off without breaking it, and I did. Now, I don't know how good we're going to be able to refinish this, but we're going to give it our whirl with it. I'm really excited about it. So there's that handle. So don't forget about that. And then as we come through and look at this one's kind of frozen down. This blade is frozen in there. I can't quite get it off. So we're going to try to work on that too. And remember, this bad boy is 34 inches long. And so I'm excited about it. I just thought I'd pause real quick and show you what we have. You can see all the rust and such like that. So, all right, let's go on to our next step. I'll be right back. Okay, our next step that we're going to do here, incidentally, is we're going to try to clean up this handle just a little bit. And so as we do, that's going to be a real nice thing if we can get it back. That's the challenge, if we can get it back. So let's see if I can get a little bit of light on here for us. And then we can kind of go from there. And so what I'm going to do is, very first thing is take my little razor blade, and you can see that we're just going to scrape away some of the old finish that's there and see how much of it comes off. And we can see there's a lot of it coming off here. And so this is a real nice, easy, fast way to do it. Anybody can do it like this. So we'll just kind of knock it down just a little bit here. And again, all we're trying to do is just get off this old finish. And what that does, incidentally, for me, whenever I hook onto my my little sander, and I'll show you what sander I use here in just a little bit, it makes it nice because it doesn't gunk it up. So when it gets all clogged with all this old finish, then that makes it harder for us to go through and get life out of it. So this will kind of get some of the dirty work out of the way. And as you can see, boy, it's cleaning up really well here. So, and by the time we do our sanding on it, it's going to be nice, nice, nice. So let's see here. We just continue to, and you can see where it's just kind of dirty from maybe a little bit of oil, a little bit of grease, whatever they were using it for. Maybe people just didn't clean their hands very well, which is to be expected on these old tools, right? And so we'll go through and get that cleaned up here real quick and go from there. So let me go ahead and pause the video. So now that you're seeing this step, what I'm doing, I'll bring you back when I'm getting ready to put a little bit of sanding on it, okay? Okay, so now we got it all scraped down. So now I have this little Milwaukee detail sander, and so I don't know if you can tell which model it is, but anyways, it's a detail sander. And I use this thing like crazy. This thing is nice because it has a sharp point. It gets in different edges, kind of really small in there. And so this is what's going to help us kind of put a little bit of a finer finish on this. Now, this is 220 grit, so we're going to do 220, and then we're going to do 300 and maybe even, or 320, and then maybe even 400. So let's just kind of see how this goes, all right? So I'll show you how it works. All right, this is round one. So you can see we got it pretty smooth. We just got to work it a little bit more detail. We're going to do some hand sanding as well. You see some of the lines there. We're going to go back into that and probably knock that down, and then do a little bit of hand sanding. We can see how rough it is. See, part of it is all gone. It kind of just got rotted away over the years. Now, it doesn't look like it's probably very hardwood at all. It's probably just pine or some Douglas fir or something like that. And so it's not a real hardwood. But anyways, there you have it. That's kind of the process. So we're going to go through another couple steps of this, and then we're going to do some hand sanding. So we'll be back. All right, friends, we are back. So now I got the handle all done. As you can see, we put just a little bit of hazelnut stain on it, and then I put a couple of finishes of top coat just to kind of lock it in and make sure we protect the wood. Because as you can see on the wood itself, you can see this bad boy is worn. Look at all that patina that's still on there, and that's even after I sanded it down. And this side, my opinion, man, that looks even better yet. And so I love that. And so this handle will just slip right on there. And I had a hard time getting this handle off, incidentally. And so we're going to go through and start to put this back together. And you'll notice that on the brass, wow, look at that. That turned out just brilliant. Don't you agree? And so, man, that is just nice. And so these actually will go in here just like this, if I can get it in there right. There you go. There's one. Let's see. There's another plug on this side that we'll put in place. Kind of massage that in there. And then we have another one that goes here. Here we go. This one I may have to turn just a little bit. There we go. It fell in place. Then this one here, it's going to fall in place. There we go. So as we can see from this side, look at that color versus the brass versus the bluing versus the blade itself. Isn't that just beautiful? And so now, let's see if we can get this turned around here. Now we're going to go through and put the screws into it here. And so see if we can get, doggone it, it's falling down. And so we're going to try to go through and at least get it started here first of all. So we're going to put this side, at least start the threads. Let's see if we can do it without cross threading it. There we go, there's one. And then let's see if I can grab underneath this one and put this one in place. See if we can get that one going. Yep, got that one. And then we have two more, so let's see what we have. I'll get these back over here. And then let's see, I'm going to try to put this one back in place here. There we go. And then put this screw head on it. Then we're going to tighten it down in just a moment here. But right now we're just trying to get everything started just right. And so, see if I can, there we go. Get those threads going the correct way. And the last one that's here, we're going to try to put this in there. Get this turned around. There we go. And then this one here. So we can get them started and then I can lay it down. And then we can go through and tighten them down. So there, I believe they're all started there. So now we're just going to take our screwdriver and we're just going to tighten it down just a little bit here. So we can get some better lighting on this here so you guys can see it a little bit better. So we're going to go through and get that tightened down just a tad, if it'll get started there. Oh, the back side's turning just a little bit. All right, so let's see here. Get this one going too. All right, and then we'll get this one going. See if I can get underneath it here. There we go. And then let's see if we can get this one going. And voila. All right, so there we have it there. What do you think? Is that just good looking or what? So we got the screws in there. This one, I think I'm gonna have to figure out how to tighten that up just a little bit more. So let's see if we can work on that for just a second. That wood is so far gone, I think I'm bottoming out on the thread. So I think we're gonna have to leave it right there. But now that we're looking at this in the light, as you can see, just look how beautiful that is right there. That's just gorgeous the way that turned out, don't you think? And so, okay, let me get a different camera view and then we'll come back in just a moment, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, and we're back over here. And so I wanted to kind of show you what it looked like from this standpoint. Now, when we took this apart, boy, we had a really hard time trying to get the handle off. This handle was literally just all kinds of corrosion underneath it and it just stuck right to it. And so I had to just gently try to work it off. We wanted to preserve this handle for as much as we could, for as long as we could. Now we don't have an exact date on this, but I want to show you a few things. Now if you'll notice on the beginning or the tip of this, it has this rivet in there, and on this side it's actually peened over. So as you can see how that is there. And so no doubt, boy, they didn't change out this blade very often. And one more thing, in the beginning of the video, did you notice I called it a hacksaw? Well, that's just because I'm just dumb and I just didn't know any better. But after I shot that, I was talking to another friend and we got to thinking, and it's like, man, that's awfully big for a hacksaw, isn't it? And so we also got to looking at some other things. You'll notice that on this blade right here, you can see how thick it is here, and then it thins out right here in the middle, and then it gets thicker over here. My goodness. And then, remember what I said in the beginning? Look at that bad boy. It's 34 inches long. So what kind of saw do you think this is? Is it just me that just kind of lost my rocker for just a moment and I just called it that? What do you think it is? Well, if you said that it's a meat saw or a butcher saw, ding, 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 you're right. So that's exactly what it is. And so further research that proved to be true that way. But notice also on here, the brass screws and the plugs on the other side. Look how beautiful that is. Man, that just turned out. And then with this handle, that is just gorgeous, isn't it? And so this thing just really turned out real nice. Now, one of the things we wanted to do is kind of keep that patina on that handle there. And so I think that just sets it off even more. Now, as far as the age, going back to that, since it doesn't have a maker's mark, it's kind of hard for us to kind of think that. But one other thing that I wanted to point out to you, you see right here on this saw, if we flip it over the other way, look what happened here. So it's actually one solid piece of metal right here, but then we flip it over again, and notice what they did. They went through and they wrapped it around, and then they welded it there. So this was actually hand formed or hand forged into that in order to house that screw, in order to keep this blade intact that way. And so I don't know, but it probably dates back to the early to mid 1900s. And so, you know, it's just a privilege just to have that in Shane's collection. I'm sure he's really excited about hanging this on his wall. That blade, we tried to polish it up as much as we could, but we didn't want to go too much because, well, it's not very thick. And so we wanted to try to preserve this, but this thing is still super, super sharp on here. Again, just giving you one last look right over here. Sorry you have to see my ugly face right here. But as we get going, my goodness, look at that. Look at that. That is just a work of art, I think. They just don't make them like that anymore, do they? And so in this thing right here, look how thick that metal is. I mean, it's solid steel. And so this thing still is in very good condition. The handle, except for that, just has a little bit of wear, but honestly, I prefer it that way. I think that's even better yet. But anyways, what do you think? Put your thoughts in the comments below. Tell Shane what you think about it. And so I think it turned out really good. I'm glad that we were kicking around all kinds of different things, and I seen that over there, and I'm very happy he let me take it home and try to do a little bit of honor. So if you like it, click that like button as well. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. YouTube likes that. It helps us grow the channel. And then make sure you tell your friends about us. And so anyways, Shane, boy, I hope you like it. I hope you love it. So here you are. And so we're excited for you. And friends, we'll see you on the next one.